Hello, my sunrays. Welcome back. This will be chapter 17 of It's a Small World, by emphasis on Ghost Rider, entitled Asmai Lives Up to the Name. Let's get into this. Izuku. Izuku was no longer excited. He was royally fucking pissed, but he didn't care who knew it. What the support company UA contracted out to hand sent him was shit. Actually, he'd probably be better protected if it was made of literal shit. Ultimately, what he decided to ask for hadn't been too far off from his vigilante costume, just minus the helmet. Lightly armored shirt with an optional jacket over it. He'd been tempted to go for a trek for the drama, but the length didn't suit his fighting style, so he'd gone with something more closer to a denim jacket in style instead. But there was always the option to change it for something depending on the weather or mission. Loose but fitting long black cargo pants. He'd gone with actual cargo pants on this one. He'd tried cargo pants before because pockets, yes, but had issues with the pockets being durable enough. Apparently, he'd been wrong to think the hero support company would be able to pull that off. All of it black with gray highlights, utility belt, set of knives, retractable bow staff. It would have been perfect for the underground hero Izuku was bound and determined to be. It would have been perfect for the underground hero Izuku was bound and determined to be. But not what he got. He wasn't sure how they fucked up the shirt that bad. The armor was thick and restrictive, while the fabric itself was almost see-through enough still sitting in the case. The pockets on the pants nearly as flimsy. The utility belt was too big. He wasn't even sure the jacket was actually support gear. He was pretty sure he'd gotten the same one the department store last fall. And quickly looking through the weapons, he found that all of the knives he requested. He was used to using a couple different knives, but his favorites were the throwing knives, were all either poorly made or poorly weighted, and they left out the retractable bow staff entirely. The worst, though, was the boots. They were beautiful. The one piece of equipment he'd asked for that was well designed and built even better, most exactly what he always imagined. But they were sized for feet that didn't have the extra toe joint in them. The support company had intentionally just spit in his face and wanted him to know it. Those boots were what he'd been looking forward to the most. Actually, having a pair of shoes that wasn't the heavy embroidered red pair of high tops Izuku had to hand dye black just to get by people's first glances. Anyone who actually looked, though, could easily make out the rising, thick, embroidered cues. Izuku was trying very, very hard not to have a breakdown in the changing rooms. Rage and hurt raced through him like a winner of $1 billion. He wasn't succeeding very well. Izuku? Hidoshi knocked on the stall door the green-haired boy had secluded himself into. I can tell something's wrong. You should have been done changing a while ago. I can't wear this, Satoshi, Izuku replied, voice thick with emotion, as he threw open the door to reveal the very concerned Hitoshi in a jumpsuit and capture weapon, not dissimilar to Shota's, if in a different color scheme. Izuku threw the offensive pile of rags into the taller boy's arms. Look at what they fucking sent me. What the fuck? Hitoshi slowly but softly grounded out, taking in just how bad everything, except the boots, was. What the actual fuck? He blinked down at Izuku, then back at the costume. The boots look fine, but the rest of this here has to be something wrong with them." "The boots are fine," Izuku replied, voice soft and cold. Anger, it seemed, was the world's newest 1%er. "But I have an extra toe joint in my foot that these boots won't fit." "Shit," Hidoshi breathed as everything clicked together in his head. The two boys stared at each other. The same rage Izuku felt echoed in Hidoshi's eyes. "You have to tell Aizawa. He'll make sure the company is dealt with, him or Nezu. In the meantime, wear your gym uniform. I'm so sorry, Izuku, but I know that doesn't help right now." "It helps more than you know," Izuku told him softly. He could count on one hand the number of people who weren't Quirkist, who'd been on his side in something like this. "Get to the gym before you're late. I'll join you there." "See you there, Izuku." Hidoshi left, and Izuku quickly grabbed the gym uniform and got changed, racing out to join the others in the gym. While it wasn't his main concern right now, it made him feel a bit better that while his costume might have been bad, it was not the only doozy of a costume that had been sent. What the hell were these kids wearing? Was Higakure even wearing anything? Should he see if she wants to go put on a gym uniform too? What the actual shit? Apparently, they were doing battle trials today. One student versus another, and the first had already started. A quick glance at the who versus who list up on the monitor showed Izuku wasn't even on it. Leaving Hitoshi as the odd one out. Oh, Izuku was not in the mood for this shit right now. "Excuse me, All Might," Izuku called out. "It seems I'm not on the list. I'm sorry I was late, but there was some issue with my costume. The support company sent me, so I had to grab a gym uniform instead. I'm here now, so am I going to go up against Satoshi then?" "Ah, young Midoriya." The blonde hero laughed awkwardly. "Given today's assignment, I suppose to be for getting used to your costumes, maybe you should sit this one out. We wouldn't want you to be a disadvantage, after all. You could get hurt." "Hitoshi's costume is a simple jumpsuit," Izuku pointed out, wearing a sweet smile that was a bit too pointed. He could feel Nato, Mina, and Hitoshi all moving in behind him, offering silent support. "Surely, if you're that concerned about my safety, he should just take out any weapon he may have on him. I don't see why that wouldn't be safe enough." The rest of the class went silent, glancing back and forth between Izuku, the small, adorable boy with cat ears, and All Might, who was practically sweating bullets at this point. "Be that as it may, young Shinso still has a quirk, and you—" The would-be teacher trailed off, quickly realizing his mistake. The class shifted awkwardly around them, most glancing down at Izuku's shoes, with the still very visible cues. Izuku's blood froze, expression becoming just as cold. "And I what?" Izuku's voice was soft as velvet, and dangerous just as a shark that just caught the scent of blood. "Well, quirkless, young Midoriya," All Might pushed out, causing a shocked gasp to ripple through the audience. Hidoshi grabbed one of Izuku's hands, Mina a second behind him. Nato put a groaning hand on Izuku's shoulder. Whether they were offering support or holding him back, none of them knew. "What does that matter?" Izuku tilted his head to the side, trying not to hiss his words, or to let his ears go back in anger. "We're supposed to be getting used to our uniforms, not focusing on using our quirks. Hand to hand should just do fine for that." "Sure, but you see—" All Might tried to interject, but Izuku just railroaded over him. "No." The interjection was sharp as glass. "I don't see, All Might. I just see how my quirk status stops me from being Nezu's personal student, because it doesn't. I don't see how it doesn't stop me from having the highest score on the entrance exam, because it doesn't. I don't see how it matters here at all, because it's not going to stop me. Me being quirkless doesn't matter, All Might. Not today, and not the day you left me on a fucking rooftop. All three hands clasped around him in shock, but Izuku carried on, heedless. Did you know that the door was locked when you flew away? You're lucky it wasn't old, and I was able to force it open. He'd actually picked up the lock, but tomato, and didn't have to take the fast way down. That was you? The blonde gasped quietly, but Izuku was the only one who caught it. Caught the fact that All Might, in fact, hadn't recognized him, over Aizawa's outraged roar at the same time. Izuku wasn't sure when he'd even entered the gym. He did what? The Under quickly placed himself between Izuku and All Might, turning to face Izuku, likely so that the sight of the other man wouldn't drive Aizawa to murder. Are you all right? I'm fine, Aizawa, Izuku replied steadily. Then, and now, at least, in a way that mattered. Good. The sensei closed his flickering eyes, taking a deep breath, and then, before reopening them, Shinso, take Midoriya and grab your costume case and clothes. You can change in the teacher's lounge bathroom, then wait for me in my office. I'm going to send the rest of the class in a few minutes while I deal with the number one menace behind me. Yes, Sensei, Hiroshi responded, tugging at Izuku's hand when the other two stepped back to prompt him into motion. They quickly moved, wanting to be out long before the other boys made it to the changing rooms. Holy shit. Hiroshi said once they cleared the gym, Aizawa's gonna kill All Might. That was the end of chapter 17. I hope y'all enjoyed, because I know I did. Sorry. I hope y'all enjoyed this. As always, link this video down in the description, as well as my Discord. I will see y'all next time.